Forget stealth. This fighter jet doesn't hide from the enemy. It doesn't need to. Meet the aircraft that can carry more missiles than any other fighter on Earth, fly faster than an F-22, and still cost half as much to operate. This is the F-15EX Eagle II, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why the US Air Force just bet billions on a jet that refuses to disappear from radar. Section 1. Why this jet exists. For the last 2 decades, the story of American air power has been all about stealth. The F-22 Raptor, the F-35 Lightning II, radar evading, sensor fused, practically invisible. But somewhere along the way, the Pentagon realized something uncomfortable. Stealth isn't free, and it isn't always the answer. Enter the F-15EX Eagle II, the newest, most advanced version of a fighter jet design that's been flying since the 1970s. And here's the twist. It's not trying to compete with the F-35 on stealth. It's not trying to sneak past enemy radar. Instead, Boeing and the Air Force built a jet designed around a completely different philosophy: overwhelming firepower, blistering speed, and a price tag that lets you build a lot more of them. If you're new here, subscribe because we break down the world's most powerful fighter jets and defense technology every single week, and this is one of the most misunderstood aircraft flying today. Section 2. The numbers that matter. Let's talk about what makes the F-15EX genuinely terrifying in a straight fight. This jet can carry up to 12 air-to-air missiles in a standard configuration, and in an all-air-to-air loadout, that number climbs even higher. Compare that to the F-35, which typically carries 4 missiles internally to preserve its stealth profile. The F-15EX doesn't care about that trade-off. It just brings more bullets to the fight. Then there's speed. The F-15EX can push past Mach 2.5 more than twice the speed of sound, and significantly faster than the F-22 or F-35 inches a straight-line sprint. Powered by twin General Electric F-110 engines, this jet has one of the best thrust-to-weight ratios of any fighter in the world. It can out-climb, out-accelerate, and outrun almost anything else in the sky. And here's the part that really matters to the people signing the checks. The F-15EX costs roughly $80 million per unit, compared to the F-35's price tag north of $100 million, and its operating cost per flight hour is dramatically lower. For a military trying to rebuild its fighter fleet at scale, that math is impossible to ignore. Section 4. The unmanned future. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The F-15EX isn't just a solo fighter. It's being tested as a command node for unmanned drone wingmen, working alongside systems like the MQ-28 Ghostbat in exercises across the Pacific. Picture a single F-15EX pilot directing a swarm of autonomous drones ahead of them, scouting, jamming, and even absorbing the first hits while the manned jet stays back, coordinating the fight from a safer distance. This is the future the Air Force is quietly building toward: a high-low mix of stealth fighters, non-stealth workhorses, and autonomous drones, all networked together. And the F-15EX sits right at the center of that web, precisely because it wasn't designed to be invisible. It was designed to be flexible, affordable, and absolutely lethal. Let's zoom out for a second, because the F-15EX doesn't exist in a vacuum. Russia has the Su-35, a highly maneuverable, non-stealth heavyweight built on similar logic, dominate through raw performance rather than radar-evading skin. China is pushing the J-16, another large, powerful non-stealth strike fighter designed to complement its stealthy J-20 fleet. Even NATO allies like the UK and Germany still lean on the Eurofighter Typhoon for high-speed intercept and air superiority roles, where stealth simply isn't the deciding factor. What sets the F-15EX apart from all of them is its sensor suite. It's equipped with the APG-82 AESA radar, one of the most powerful and reliable radars ever mounted on a fighter, capable of tracking multiple targets simultaneously at extreme range. Pair that with the Legion Pod, an infrared search and track system that can passively detect enemy stealth aircraft without ever switching on a radar that could give away the F-15EX's own position. In other words, this jet might not be stealthy, but it's built to hunt stealth. There's also a weapons angle that almost nobody outside defense circles talks about. The F-15EX is one of the only fighters in the US. Inventory large and powerful enough to carry hypersonic weapons externally, including next-generation strike missiles still in testing. That single capability alone could make it one of the most strategically valuable aircraft the Air Force owns by the end of this decade. Not because it hides, but because of what it can carry and how far it can throw it. Section 5. The stealth argument and why it doesn't matter here. Now, you're probably thinking, but it has no stealth. Doesn't that make it a sitting duck? Fair question. Against a fully modern integrated air defense system, the F-15EX would absolutely need stealth cover from F-22s or F-35s flying ahead of it. Nobody's pretending otherwise. But here's the strategic logic the Pentagon is banking on. Not every mission requires stealth. Homeland air defense, escorting bombers, protecting carrier strike groups, and hypersonic weapons delivery. These are missions where raw payload and speed matter more than sneaking past radar. The F-15EX is being built as the workhorse behind the stealth spearhead. The jet that shows up after the F-35s have already kicked the door down, carrying enough firepower to finish the job. There's also a survivability trick most people don't know about. The F-15EX comes equipped with the Eagle Passive Active Warning Survivability System, an electronic warfare suite so advanced that pilots have described it as giving the jet a kind of sixth sense, detecting and reacting to threats faster than a human could manually respond. It doesn't hide from missiles. It outthinks and outmaneuvers them. So is the F-15EX the most powerful fighter in the American arsenal? In a stealth versus stealth fight, no, that title still belongs to the F-22 and F-35. But in raw payload, raw speed, and sheer cost-effective firepower, nothing else in the US inventory comes close. It's proof that in modern air warfare, invisibility isn't the only path to dominance. Sometimes the smarter move isn't disappearing from the fight, it's showing up with more firepower than anyone else on the battlefield can match, at a price the Pentagon can actually afford to scale. If you want to see how the F-15EX stacks up directly against the F-35 inches a head-to-head breakdown, comment Eagle below, and we'll make that video next. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week, we're going deeper into the jet that could decide the next great power conflict.